All right, guys. So Elon Musk is really stepping in it and overreaching colossally. I think it's fair to describe it like that. So look at this from TPM. Elon Musk's fake sites and fake texts impersonating the Harris campaign. So I got a lot of stuff to get to with how much election interference he's in the midst of doing. So look at this. There's deeply cynical, and then there's things which might be illegal. In the first category, we have an Elon Musk-funded PAC micro-targeting Jewish and Arab communities with diametrically opposed ads about Kamala Harris's support for Israel or Palestine. Amazingly cynical. But then you have what I'm going to describe next, which comes from another Musk-funded dark money operation. They have set up fake sites impersonating the Harris campaign using fake policy positions and then sending out text messages also impersonating the campaign, which aim to drive voters to the fake site. A lot of potential legal and regulatory questions turn on words like fake and impersonating, which we'll return to in a moment. So before I continue with his piece here, let me point out, this was all over social media. The Elon Musk-funded PAC, he would send to Jewish voters a fake thing of Kamala saying, like, we stand completely with Palestine, and would send to Arab voters, we stand completely with Israel and Netanyahu. And they tried to make it look like it was from the campaign. It, of course, wasn't at all from the campaign. It's just, he's trying to divide and conquer and impersonate Harris to deliver the opposite of the message that communities likely want to hear. And you know what the end result would be, fuck her. Why is she sending me this? I'm on the opposite side of the issue, right? So just absolutely insane. But let me give you more. This conspiracy, and that's what it is. It's a conspiracy. It goes really, really, really deep. So, by the way, the original people who reported on this, it was Open Secrets. As far as I can tell, this reporter is the first to report it, Anna Masaglia. The project is the work of Building America's Future PAC, which seems to be largely and perhaps now entirely funded by Elon Musk. It's part of a network of Musk-funded PACs, which are run and or organized by a group of operatives who ran Ron DeSantis' failed presidential campaign. By the way, a little bit of a red flag here, right? You bring on those fucking losers who were sneaking like Nazi symbols into Ron DeSantis ads. America PAC is another of these entities organized with the same money and by the same operatives. That's the one doing the canvassing and getting out the vote operations. More on that in a minute, the like get out the vote, knock on doors type stuff. I have an interesting update on that as well. As Masaglia reports, in late September, Building America's Future set up a site called Progress 2028, which purports to be Kamala Harris's response or counter to Project 2025. The site is designed to have the general appearance of a Harris site in the sense of being in favor of gun regulation, supportive of gender-affirming care, etc., but with wildly over-the-top versions of those policies. So, for instance, it calls for minor children to be able to get sex change operations at school without the knowledge of or interference from parents. It calls for a mandatory gun buyback program, etc. The PAC also funded a text message campaign which pushes the same fake policy messages, impersonating Harris's campaign, and drives recipients of the text to the site. So here we go. This is one of the texts that was sent out. It's a picture of Kamala, and here's what the text says. Kamala Harris believes LGBTQIA youth deserve access to gender-affirming care and safe, inclusive schools in Grand Rapids. Kamala will ensure minors can access the care they need without fear of parental intervention or discrimination. Help make our schools as trans-friendly as possible. So they're pretending it's from Kamala. That is not from Kamala. Now let's get back to impersonating. The text and site are clearly meant to make you think that these come from the Harris campaign or perhaps one of its associated committees. They refer to our plan, etc. There's no question this is the intent and likely effect. The limited disclaimers say they are paid for by Progress 2028, but campaigns often have sites with separate names or even separate funding vehicles. It would be totally normal for the Harris campaign or one of its associated committees to have set up a site with such a name. Legally speaking, however, it is funded by Progress 2028. That's a fictitious name created by Building America's Future in late September in Virginia. The same intentionally misleading but not technically inaccurate labeling is followed on the website, the text, and also online ads, which Masaglia references. To get really specific, it was registered by a DC-based lawyer named James E. Tyrell III, whose law firm bio you can see here. If these said paid for by Harris for president, you'd have a straight-up campaign finance violation. but that's not what they're doing. So I don't think the Musk Group is doing anything illegal here. The one part of this I'm sure about, however, is the texts. Texts like the U.S. mail and phone calls come under specific regulatory and even legal frameworks. In some cases, it's not enough to be technically accurate in the way I'm describing above. If you're trying to impersonate someone, that can be enough to get you in trouble. That's very different from a website in which you can say basically anything. If you've gotten these texts, please let me know. So in other words, what he's saying is the part of it which is potentially outright illegal are the text impersonating things. He's saying the other parts of it, while unethical, are not necessarily illegal, right? And this gets to a bigger debate about letter of the law versus spirit of the law. Because, sure, by the letter of the law, this might be a loophole. But by the spirit of the law, this is clear impersonation, and you're lying about what the person you're impersonating believes and wants to do. Mandatory gun buyback program, that is literally like, we're going to take everybody's guns. We're going to ban guns and we're going to take all your guns. That's what a mandatory gun buyback program is. And they're trying to make people believe this is what Kamala and Tim Walz support. That is not what they support. They support universal background checks. They support red flag laws. They support things of that nature. They're both gun owners. They don't support totally confiscating all guns, but they're making it seem like that's the case. They support trans rights, but they don't support minors getting gender surgery, and also you don't tell the parents and you perform it at the school. I mean, it literally feeds into every single idiotic right-wing trope about the left, which is totally unfounded, completely untrue. And again, just the thing, the Progress 2028 thing, like, they know Project 2025 is a problem for them because it's full of super unpopular stuff, right? And so this is their way of combating that, is like, well, actually, the Democrats have a Progress 2028 thing, which is just more terrible than what Project 2025 is, and we're going to pretend like it's real, and we're going to promote it even though it's not real. So, legal gray area at best, outright illegal at worst, but 100% unethical, 100% immoral, and this is what Elon Musk is currently doing for Trump. This is without a doubt election interference, and in my opinion, it constitutes fraud. This is fraud. I want you to stop and imagine this for a second for me. Imagine George Soros started impersonating Trump or other Republican candidates and lying about their positions, right? And pumping it out there, and maybe it has an effect and changes some votes. What would the right say if George Soros was doing the same thing but on the liberal side? What would the right say? They would be calling for him to be beheaded in the public square. But Elon Musk does it, and they clap like fucking seals, right? All right, but I'm not done. I'm not done. Again, is this legal? I don't know. It's kind of hard to imagine it is. But Elon Musk has a daily $1 million giveaway to registered voters. Here we go. So let me walk you through this. While stumping for former President Trump on Saturday, tech billionaire Elon Musk announced he will give away $1 million each day to registered voters in battleground states, immediately drawing scrutiny from election law experts who said the sweepstakes could violate laws against paying people to register. Quote, "We want to get over 1 million, maybe 2 million voters in the battleground states to sign the petition in support of the First and Second Amendment." By the way, hilarious. Hilarious, the idea that Trump is the protector of the First and Second Amendment. "We are going to be awarding $1 million randomly to people who have signed the petition every day from now until the election," Musk said at a campaign event in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The ex-owner and Tesla CEO was referring to a petition launched by his political action committee affirming support for the rights to free speech and to bear arms. The website, launched shortly before some registration deadline, says this program is exclusively open to registered voters in Pennsylvania, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, and North Carolina. Musk, the richest man in the world, has given more than $75 million to his pro-Trump super PAC. Which, by the way, what happened, guys? I thought Musk came out and said, "It's fake news, I'm not giving $75 million. Really? Well, now the results are in, and you did. He's probably trying to lie and be Weasley about it. I didn't give $75 million directly to Trump. I gave it to a super PAC, which is technically unaffiliated with him, even though it cheerleads for him 24/7. These guys are liars. Just get that through your head. These guys are liars. They are charlatans. They are con men. They are frauds. And said he hopes the sweepstakes will boost registration among Trump voters. He recently hit the campaign trail in Pennsylvania, holding events advocating for Trump, promoting his petition, and spreading conspiracy theories about the 2020 election. By the way, he brought back one of the Dominion voting machine conspiracy theories, and it's very possible that Dominion sues the shit out of him because they've sued what is it, Fox News, Newsmax, they've sued some conservative media outlets, and they won. Quote, "This is a one-time ask," Musk told the crowd shortly after announcing the $1 million prize. "Just go out there and talk to your friends and family and acquaintances and people you meet in the street and convince them to vote. Obviously, you got to get registered, make sure they're registered, and make sure they vote." So, what if George Soros was doing this thing on the Democratic side? You'd never hear the end of it. They'd be screaming bloody murder from the rooftops. The first $1 million winner was named Saturday, with Musk handing out a giant check to a Trump supporter at his event in Harrisburg, saying, "So anyway, you're welcome." He announced the second winner Sunday afternoon during an event in Pittsburgh, handing out another check on a stage adorned with big signs reading "Vote Early." So anyway, look, is this legal? Is this illegal? I don't know, but intuitively, it seems like it either is illegal or absolutely should be illegal. This is crazy shit. But I'm still not done. Let me give you one more here. So this is the saving grace. You guys ready for this? New. Trump may fail to reach thousands of voters in Arizona and Nevada, with roughly 25% of door knocks done by Elon Musk's America PAC this week flagged internally as potentially fraudulent, per leaked data and people familiar. I like how this person says, "I have no choice but to respect the folks that took Elon's money and pretended to knock on doors until they got caught." So in other words, we might get very lucky because Elon Musk is completely and utterly incompetent. And his incompetence, Trump relying so much on him and him being incompetent, leads to stuff like this happening. They say they knocked on X number of doors, but at least 25% of those knocks are fraudulent. So we might get lucky in that respect, that the people who are the biggest Elon Musk sycophants are not the sharpest, and they're quite cultish, and they're not competent. And as a result of that, it looks like as Elon is doing a bunch of scams and frauds, a lot of people are scamming him and pretending they're knocking on doors when they're not knocking on doors. So, but guys, again, I can't get past it. This is a guy who not that long ago was saying, Twitter has to be politically neutral and we should piss off the far right and the far left as much as possible. And this is an open forum for absolutely everybody. And then, a couple months later, it's, yay, Trump, rah, 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 Trump. I'm your biggest fan. I'm your biggest cheerleader. You're the best, Trump. Hooray. And so he's just a total fucking hypocrite. He also says it was going to be a free speech platform. Then he bans journalists that he doesn't like who report on things about him, who report on things like the J.D. Vance dossier when Ken Klippenstein got banned. He's just a total hack, total fraud. And now, richest man in the world, doing election interference repeatedly, impersonating the Kamala campaign, lying about positions that he says they have that they don't have. What are you supposed to do with this? This is election interference at the highest level, and there absolutely should be consequences. By the way, he's not even fucking American, right? He's not even American. Like, what the fuck is this? Again, same set of facts, but a liberal Democratic donor doing shit like this would be public enemy number one to the right. And they'd be saying, throw the fucking book at this person. This is oligarchy defined. This is an oligarchy. This is a kleptocracy. But when it's the billionaire they like, it doesn't. No, this is all actually good and based. These people have no principles and no standards, and that's crystal clear. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.